What's going on, everyone? And we are back with another episode of Lost in the Dark podcast. Tonight, it's going to be a solo episode. Oh, shit. Hold on. I had to do this. There we go. Gotta make sure the Crypt Keeper's on. Tonight's going to be a solo episode. Just me and the Crypt tonight. Got some things I want to talk to you guys about. Some news stories that have been coming up and stuff like that I haven't gotten to yet. But you know what? Man, you can fucking... It's coming. Fall is beginning to be in the air, literally. I don't know if any of you are like me. Ever since this last weekend, had this conversation with my sister about the seasons changing and stuff. I don't know if any of you out there are like me or not, but to me, literally speaking, each season, spring, fall, summer, and winter, all have a very distinct smell to them. And when that smell gets in the air, you smell it at first, but then you get used to it, and you stop really noticing it until it changes again. A couple weeks ago, like maybe last week, I went outside late one night, and I got a hint. I got like that first hint of fall in the air, but then it was gone by the next day. But now this week, man, it is fucking warm out this week. This week and some of next week, we're going to be in the 70s and 80s and stuff. I feel like it's like summer making one last grasp. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's warm out, I can still begin to, the feeling is starting to exist in the air. what is it? It's the 10th right now. So we got 11 days till the fall equinox. So yeah, we it's about here. It's about the time where you'd start noticing things like that. Do any of you notice a smell with the seasons? Do seasons have smells to you? I wonder. I don't know if I'm just crazy or not. But yeah, that's what it's like. But anyway, I've been noticing that. Lots of people talking about it. You know, fucking A. It's coming. I don't mind fall. I just mind what's after fall. I fucking do not like the winter. I despise the winter. It's disgusting. It's pointless and gross. I don't understand it. So, it's terrible. It's just awful. I mean, I can deal with it until January 1st. January 2nd. The day after New Year's Day. Just have it switch back and be like 60 until May or whatever, and then have it go up to 80. You know what I mean? Fuck this fucking these long 5-month-long fucking winters that we have here in Michigan. It's fucking garbage. And we don't take care of the roads well enough for it to fucking deal with it. It's fucking terrible. Anyway, what are we talking about? We should be focusing on the positive. Fall's here. Thanksgiving. Fucking apples. Oh, apple cider. Go to the fucking cider mill. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Yes. That'll be good. Halloween's always fun. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Got some topics. Let's see here. Oh my God. So how many of you, I haven't heard this new fucking Post Malone song with Ozzy, but how many fucking people got pretty upset when they heard people were just discovering Ozzy Osbourne through Post Malone? I was on the one hand, okay, maybe some of those people will check out Ozzy, and then maybe a smaller portion of them will get into metal. All right, yeah, that's great. That's cool. But damn, parents of America, you're failing. If your child knows who Post Malone is but doesn't know who Ozzy fucking Osbourne is, you're failing as a parent. I'm here to tell you that, okay? They need to know Ozzy. That's what I had to say about that. I was like, damn, we're there? That's where we are right now? Okay. Strange fucking times. News stories. We've had some news stories, some interviews and stuff with some members of Slipknot, and talking about kind of like, you know, they haven't said it yet, but I do find it interesting that they're even alluding to any sort of remote possibility of them coming out with yet another album in the next, another like brand new album in the next like 2 years or so. Slipknot's has always been a band that takes a long time between albums. On the one hand. On the other hand, I don't know if they've ever been quite as big as they are right now. So maybe, you know, capitalizing on that and with this like current sound that they're in, wouldn't be a bad idea. But I don't know. I like the new Slipknot enough to where I'd be open to that, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think it's just kind of fucking band members talking a little bit in interviews, like saying, yeah, well, you know, we're always looking forward to the next thing, of course, but, you know. One slightly piece of update news on the last episode Preston was on, we talked about the possibility of a new Guns N' Roses song in the new Terminator film. And Slash was recently asked about it in an interview and said, no, absolutely not. There's no new GNR in the new Terminator movie. Now, that is very, I'm bummed because I was really hoping that was true. Now, on the one hand. On the other hand, Slash has been known to lie about GNR-related things. All right. Like, he's been known to mislead the public, to say the least, in terms of the happenings, the behind-the-scenes. Not in a negative way. Like, I'm not talking about in a negative way back when there were feuds and stuff like that. I'm talking about, when they were getting back together and they were all keeping it a secret and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or, things like that. So we'll see. My fingers are still crossed, but that did kind of put a damper on all that. Another thing I wanted to talk about, which actually just happened today, is there's this giant Green Day tour got announced with Fall Out Boy and somebody else. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Fall Out Boy or the other one, but I am a big fan of Green Day. Now, they also accompanied it with a new song. Let's see. What was the name of it? It's also the title track of the new album that they'll be releasing. It's like the father of all motherfuckers or something like that. Yeah, Weezer and Fall Out Boy announced the Hella Mega Tour next year. And it's a big tour for sure. Like, that's crazy. But I'm just not a fan of Weezer, Fall Out Boy. But again, Green Day is seriously like one of the genuinely best live bands I've ever seen. Metal or non, honestly. Like, that's the thing. When I go to see a non-metal band, I'm usually disappointed by the lack of interaction and you know what I mean, like the back and forth and all that. Yeah, Father of All Motherfuckers, great title. Green Day had more interaction than like most bands I've ever seen, so they're just incredible live. If you like them and get a chance to see them, but the new track, you know, look, I'm not saying it's not a bad song by any means. It's just not the kind of thing I'm into. It's a completely new style that I've never heard Green Day do before. Think like a mix between I think a lot of people are gonna like it. I think if this is their new sound, they've reinvented themselves for a new generation again. It sounds like the White Stripes meets the Killers, almost, to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's really out there for Green Day. Like, I could say it sounds nothing like Green Day, but they're the ones that did it, so it does sound like Green Day. It just doesn't sound like the Green Day that anyone's ever really heard before. It's very, very different from anything I've ever heard them put out. So, yeah, I'm not saying, I don't think it's a bad song or anything. It's just not what, you know, I kind of hope for when I check out Green Day. So, I don't know. We'll see about the rest of the album. I'm interested in the rest of the album. Check it out for sure. Father of All Motherfuckers, great title. First of all, that's fantastic title. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. I think that's going to be in Detroit at Comerica Park for all you Michigan people in August next year. Okay, so yeah, now we're on to, that was kind of like just the intro stuff, honestly. I got my two main fucking articles here, though, all right? So, for regular listeners of the podcast, this summer I took a trip to Scotland. And I really, it's crazy. Like, I had a bit of a rough time with it all. But, like, in hindsight, I like it a lot more. Like, the more, like, I look back on it, the more I like it. It really was a good time. And I saw some pretty fucking incredible things, including Loch Ness, which was like a dream come true for me personally. Because as a kid, stories of Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and Dogman and ghosts are what like interested me. What the fuck is that word? More than anything. But Jesus Christ. Sorry. Yeah. Like that was always my thing. So to actually be there, you know what I mean, was a really surreal experience for me personally. One that I really look back on fondly and will never forget and hope to go back. Honestly, I hope to go back one day. I really, really do. There are things that I didn't get to do there that I wanted to. So I really hope to go back one day. However, not only this year, sadly, I didn't see the monster, but this year is one of the biggest years in recent years for sightings. Not only that, there was a recent giant study done on the loch, a DNA survey, to determine what DNA is in there, what lives in there. Is there any DNA of a giant reptile or anything like that? Okay, so, and I've talked about this, how they did this before, and I told you I'd come back once they released the findings, and they just did, all right? So, geneticist Neil Gemmell of Otago University in New Zealand said an environmental DNA survey of Loch Ness saw no signs it was home to any giant reptiles or aquatic dinosaurs. A theory sometimes used to explain the mysterious monster, which has reportedly been seen several times since the 1930s and has been seen many times even before that. Gemmell said the survey revealed DNA traces of more than 3,000 species living beside or in Loch Ness, including fish, deer, pigs, birds, humans, and bacteria. But we did not find any giant reptiles. We didn't find any reptiles at all, Gemmell told Live Science. We tested a variety of ideas about giant sturgeon or catfish that might be here from time to time, but we did not find those either. One thing the researcher did find is that Loch Ness contains a lot of eels. And the researchers say it's possible, although unlikely, that sightings of Nessie may actually be sightings of overgrown eels. Out of the 250-odd water samples that we took, pretty much every single sample has got eels in it, end quote. He said, but are they giant eels? I don't know, he said. So that's what we got. And this information cited from Live Science. The article name is Loch Ness Contains No Monster DNA, says scientist, by Tom McAuliffe of a Live Science contributor, and it is a day old. So, yeah, there it is. They, and, at this point in time, considering current research and stuff like that, it's pretty hard to argue with a DNA survey of that size. having said that, 250 samples, and I happen to know that the loch is about 20 miles long. So that's like 10 samples a mile. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that's quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Really getting like a lot of nooks and crannies there, I guess. So, yeah. Wow. Eels, huh? You know, giant eel, I mean, if you found, look, are they giant eels? Question mark is what he said. Look, if you found eel DNA in every fucking single one of your of the 250, then if there's gonna be a giant eel anywhere, it's probably gonna be there, right? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, that makes sense to me. An eel makes a little bit more sense to me than like a sturgeon or something like that. And the reason why is the face of the eel has it has such a unique face that someone who doesn't know what those things look like, you know, you could say it's like a horse face looking creature almost or something like that. You know what I mean? They are some of them literally are living fossils. So, yeah, interesting. I find it fascinating. When we were there, and I've told this story a couple times, but who cares? When we were there, we went into the Loch Ness Museum, and it basically broke down everything, every picture I ever saw as a kid that I thought could actually be real, or every like video evidence and all that stuff. It broke down what all of those things actually were. So it was able to explain pretty much everything. So, you know, it's kind of a bummer to like, you know, be at Loch Ness in the museum and have them going, oh, it's pretty much all misidentification as far as we could tell. But, you know, regardless, people still report seeing like, crazy shit. And, yeah, I could, you know, an eel, put it this way, having been there, I would not expect fucking eels to be in that water at all. So, yeah, for someone who doesn't expect that kind of animal to be in there, yeah, that's an easy misidentification. I could see that. Yeah, and if they got big enough, they could, you know, fuck with some boats or something. And they definitely, some do get very, very big. And, you know, yeah, interesting. I find it very, very interesting, very fascinating. Anytime we had, because that's the thing. Ultimately, that's the thing. That's what I'm drawn to. Is despite our insane scientific and technological abilities at the moment, at least compared to shit even 20 years ago, at least, you know, in that sort of context, even with everything we have now, there are still great fucking mysteries to be solved. And I don't think they're unsolvable. You know what I mean? I don't think the mystery of the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, or ghosts, or UFOs, I don't think any of these things are unsolvable. And I'm also not all in on my belief in them. I just find them all unbelievably fascinating, and I want to fucking I enjoy playing in the mystery, the mysteries that still exist in our world today. I enjoy playing in the realm of monsters. I find it fascinating and fun at the end of the day. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, to look for monsters. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's awesome. That's awesome to me. So, yeah, that's I want to believe. But at the end of the day, it's extraordinary claim. The extraordinary claims are the ones that require extraordinary evidence. So that's where we are. But eels, yeah, I could buy into that. I could see that. I think we should start doing giant scans of Loch Ness, looking for giant ass fucking eels, and see what we find just for the fuck of it. But yeah, this information is out there. If you just Google search Loch Ness and go to news, you'll find all these articles, I'm sure. But very interesting. And not only that, brav fucking o to the people that that did this research. Like, hell fucking yeah, that there are people out there working like with funding, able to do this kind of thing, that are still exploring like these great mysteries that we have left here on our planet. Like, fuck yes to those people. So hey, I'm gonna raise a glass. Cheers to all you people. Shout out from Lost in the Dark podcast, and thank you for you know what? Thank you for helping us get a little less lost in the dark. Oh, boom. What can I say? I love it. I love it so much. And I can't wait, for October. What do we got? It's the 10th right now. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the episodes coming in October. I'm at least getting minimum 2 guests. One first-timer, one coming back. Coming back for the first time, though. He's only been on once, so that should narrow it down. Talking about some paranormal activity that they've experienced. Yeah, so we're just gonna have as much fun as we can in that realm in the month of October, because why the fuck not? It's a blast. But yeah, we got yeah. So I'm looking forward to all that. It's gonna be a good time, I'm sure. So anyway, that's the big news, the big DNA survey I told you guys about a few weeks back, and it came back. Actually, I think I told you about it at the beginning of the summer. In all honesty, I think it was even before I went to Scotland that I talked about it. Honestly, it's been a while now. But yeah. The DNA results came back. We got eels. In the loch. I tell you what, seriously, if you ever get the chance to go see that loch, fucking do it. It really is, like, when I think about it, like, it's a bit breathtaking. The goosebumps that I got when I first laid eyes on it, I will never be able to explain in full. Like, it was crazy. But honestly, the crazy part is, like, the loch is, like, really far north in Scotland. It's, like, at the northern edge in near a city, pretty cool little city called Inverness. But the city I liked a lot more, that I wanted to spend more time in, was Edinburgh. That place was fucking popping. Not only popping, but like the look of it was so fucking everything you'd like, Jack the Ripper. You know what I mean? Like everything you'd want out of a Gothic European city. It was stunning. And I wish I could have explored a little bit more. I'm very thankful for the amount that I did get to explore there, going on the Underground Vaults tour and things like that. That was fucking phenomenal. Absolutely outstanding. So, yeah. The Loch Ness. Unbelievable. It is a special place. No question. And honestly, we went to a place called the Isle of Skye as well. And when you're up there, man, like when you look around, it's you just go, oh, you know what I mean? When you start to think about the folklore of that land, when you start to think about the legends of giants and fairies and fucking goblins and things like that, the real folklore, you see like when you look at the landscape, you get it. You know what I mean? Like when you are up in the Isle of Skye and you look out at the landscape, you fucking get it. Like you look out and you're like, yeah, I get why people would think this is the land of giants and fairies and things like that. The mystical, the fucking otherworldly, you know what I mean? Like the supernatural. It's so unbelievable. It looks supernatural. Just the way, like when you're there, it almost doesn't even feel like you're there. Like you're standing in it, but you still feel like you're looking at a picture, a photograph, or a painting. Like I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you ever get the chance and you're into this kind of stuff, go for it. Trust me. Have the fish and chips and drink some fucking scotch. You fucking A. Your shit will get rocked. Okay. I got a couple more for you real quick. One real quick story that just actually came up today from Metal Injection. Vinyl on pace to outsell CDs in 2019. Now, for those of you, again, that do listen to the show, you know that we are big supporters of purchasing physical copies of music. I personally have a massive... I'm from the era of CDs, so I have a massive collection of fucking CDs, all right? Like, I got enough to sell in an FYE and have my own metal section. You know what I'm saying? I am a big supporter of purchasing physical copies of music. And just actually purchasing music in general. Even if you do download it, but like you download it off iTunes. Don't fucking listen to... When you listen to something off Spotify, it helps no one but Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Go get the album. Go get the digital download or the iTunes download from the band's website, whatever, if you don't want the physical copy. But if you like someone's shit, support it. But yeah, vinyl has made this crazy comeback. And now, this headline is... Check this out. This year in 2019, vinyl has outpaced to sell physical CDs. Now, let's see here. The Record Industry Association of America just released their mid-year report, and so far 8.6 million vinyl records were sold in the first half of the year, totaling 224.1 million in sales and 4% overall revenue. CDs, meanwhile, accounted for 247.9 million with 18.6 million units sold. Are you seeing the trend? Even though more CDs are being sold because of their lower price and trends in general, vinyl revenue is on pace to outsell CD revenue. Okay? So maybe not as many physical vinyls are being sold as CDs, as many physical CDs, but because vinyl is able to get away with charging $25-$30 a fucking pop, they're making, and CDs are usually 10 to 15. So for every one vinyl, that's 2 CDs. You know what I mean? So all they got to really do is sell half to be the same. You know what I'm saying? So interesting. So, awesome, though. At the same time, awesome that this is even something being discussed. There are that many people buying physical copies still. And I'm very... Vinyl or CD, I don't fucking care. Like... I really love collecting, having my music physically. You know what I mean? That means I don't fucking care what happens to my fucking... We could get hit with an EMP tomorrow, and all fucking electricity get knocked out. But yet I'll be able to fucking hook up a CD player to a potato and fucking people to listen to the music. You know what I'm saying? So can't do that if it's all digital. I like physical CDs. I always have. Since I was a kid, my uncle, who is the one that kind of got me into music, fucking had a giant CD collection house. I was like, I want that. Yeah, now here it is. Yeah, it's fantastic. Let me know what do you fucking collect? Do you collect physical music? Do you like the vinyl? Do you like the CDs? One thing I will say that about the vinyl, props to the vinyl for A, coming back, and B, like, they do a lot of cool shit. Like, they offer like different, like, special edition colors on, and they make it look cool. It's unique. It is a piece of art again. Like it was and should be looked at now. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this shit is. That's what the CD booklet is to me. That's what the album, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Like, love it. Fucking love it. All right. So, I got one more thing I want to talk to y'all about. One last topic. Now, I've mentioned before some of my favorite shows. Doctor Who, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, X-Files, definitely, all time. But Office, definitely. There's lots. I got a lot of favorites. But there is one that not many others compete with, honestly. Or at least, not definitely not for the same reasons. Put it that way. Like, they all are kind of like favorites in a different way because they're all kind of in different categories, you know what I'm saying? But the one, man, that just gets me every fucking time is Breaking Bad. And just last week, we were treated with a surprise announcement and teaser trailer for a film coming out on Netflix on October 11th called El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. And so that immediately sent me on a quest to rewatch Breaking Bad top to bottom. And that's what I did over the past 2 weeks. And I literally just finished it last night. And maybe it was only 1 week. I don't know. But anyway, look, I used to say until the last season of Game of Thrones was the one show that gets better with every season. Honestly, like, maybe you could have like a sentimental connection to a specific season of Breaking Bad for whatever reason, or like a specific character that got killed off and you didn't like the show as much after the character got killed off. But you cannot deny that the story, like, that's like, when I look at Dexter, or when I look at Sons, or when I look at Doctor Who, my favorite parts of any of those shows is when they have like this encapsulated beginning, middle, and end storyline within it. And that's all Breaking Bad was. It was 5 seasons of one single storyline that never, went off or anything. It was all just perfectly this is the beginning, middle, and end of this fucking story. And it is one of the greatest shows ever to have been on television. Like, it transcends TV to the point where it is, it's just like a fucking giant movie. And it's so fucking goddamn good. Like, everybody knows. Everybody's fucking seen it. I don't gotta tell you. So, but going back, the trailer for El Camino, the teaser, I should say, is Skinny Pete in an interrogation room telling a bunch of cops that he doesn't know where Jesse Pinkman is, and even if he did, he wouldn't tell them because he saw on the news how they treated him, how they had him locked in a cage and made him keep cooking. So I believe, obviously, I'm sure as everybody else, that is a direct reference to the final season of Breaking Bad, which is what happened to Jesse. Not only that, how many of you noticed that the name of the movie is El Camino? The car Jesse drove away in was an El Camino. Just saying, there's something there. But yeah, we have no idea in terms of anything else. We don't know story. We don't know when this takes place. Kind of looks like it's just after the events of Breaking Bad. We don't know. But it comes out October 11th on Netflix, and I cannot be more excited after just having finished Breaking Bad again, because it's so fucking good. So if you're someone who hasn't seen it, it's on Netflix. What are you doing? Go watch that shit. Trust me. Go watch that shit. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's so fucking intense and addicting, and just like it's one of the ones where it's like it ends and you cannot stop. You have to see what happens next. You will watch it until you physically cannot hold your eyes open anymore. So it's that good. It's that good. So, and especially just to watch it like binge style straight through, it's so much better than it probably ever was like week to week on TV. So fucking, man. Yeah. Watch that shit if you want your shit rocked and you've never seen it. If you've seen it, rewatch that shit because El Camino is coming on October 11th. Bitch! Yeah, science! I'm so excited. I got a fucking Breaking Bad mouse pad right here. Like, I fucking love this shit. So, yeah, I think that's going to be about it. That's going to be about it for the Wednesday episode. I got a new review coming soon from the band, or the album New Dimensions from the band Savages. They're out of Brazil. Savages. Remain savage, motherfuckers. Very excited for that. I have the download of the album, but I'm waiting. Look, they're not a big band and they have no USA distribution. So I had to dig deep, I had to get on Discogs, I had to go over to France and find this shit, but I got a hard copy. Just waiting for it to come in the mail, and then we'll get that review out. I'm hoping before the end of the week, but we shall see. And then yeah, we got a show going on this weekend in Flint, Michigan, motherfuckers. If you will be at the Machine Shop on Saturday, let me know. Sebastian motherfucking Bach will be there. I'm very excited for that. So never seen the Bazman, so is one I've always wanted to sort of see him in a place like the Machine Shop, where I almost feel like he's too tall for it. Like, it's that small. It's going to be insane. So if you're going to be there, let us know. Otherwise, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, and YouTube. Hit the subscribe, like, comment, whatever you feel like doing. Reach out to us, especially if you have any stories of the paranormal that you would like to share and or read on the air. Reach out to us through any of the above or lostinadarkpodcast@gmail.com. Other than that, I hope you all have a fucking fantastic rest of your week. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend. And we will be back again on Monday, unless we're back earlier with the review. We'll be back with new episodes of the regular podcast on Monday. And please, just have a great fucking week. And be wonderful. Be the person you really want to be. Be good. And, help each other when you're down and lift each other up. High tide raises all ships, everyone. All right? So raise your horns, bang your head. I fucking love you all to death so much. Good night.